Okay, let me move my mic over here. So, spoiler alert, my desk is very crowded tonight. I got a whole bunch of stuff out. Let me move this over. There we go. And my webcam's down a little bit. I mean, what I need to do is get my webcam arm and mount it so that way we can see it down here. But I have a whole setup. So tonight we're using the good old iPad and doing some Procreate stuff. Made a fairly, I don't know, for me it's a big decision. But we'll do some real talk before we get to the fun art thing, okay? So there's a lot of different ways as an artist and as an illustrator that you can like make money, right? So the primary way that I make money is I work as a freelancer for other companies. I do illustration gigs, concept art sometimes, keyframe art, usually like marketing art, illustration, book covers, in papers, stuff like that. Like that's what I did for the special edition Percy Jackson stuff, is I'm doing in papers and like marketing type stuff. So it's and it's awesome. You have your ebb and your flow of, sometimes it can be really lucrative, other times it can be not so much and you have a dry spell. So I had to decide on a way, because making prints, like selling prints, like prints you can buy, like I have a print shop. I've had a print shop for like 4 years, and I think I have sold 5 prints in 4 years. So print's not a great way to make money. A lot of artists will be like, oh, I'm going to get into it and I'm going to make some art prints and stuff like that. Nobody buys art prints, especially now. Money's very tight all around the world. Economies are doing crazy things. People are working so many jobs, and, people would much rather buy food than art prints, which I totally understand, right? So I had to do a little bit of stuff. I'm still going to be doing the freelance thing. That's how I make a majority of my money. I also do the brush packs and stuff on the side. And, it helps. It's a nice little boost, especially when like new brush packs hit and stuff. It's a lot of hype and, the Krita book and all that good stuff. But anyway, I needed to find a way to have a long form project to work on in the like slow times, right? So I was thinking about it and I was like, well, what's my, out of all my abilities and the skills and, learning at the atelier and doing oil painting and, alla prima and, life drawing, still lifes, all that stuff, very academic structure. What's the one thing that I don't know how to do, really, but would probably be cool and also improve the parts of my artwork that I'm not great at? So I'm going to be making a graphic novella, a very short. We're talking, the whole thing is probably going to be less than, it'll be less than 100 pages for sure. But it's going to be like a beginning, middle, and end, 3-act structure, very basic, kind of a one-man play sort of story. And it's gonna help teach me composition and narrative and like all that stuff, because I think doing that and moving, not necessarily like I'm gonna not do fantasy art anymore and I'm gonna be a comic book maker, like I don't think that's where this is going. I really think it's a way to like give me an excuse to get better at the stuff that I try to like shy away from, and it's going to be tough. Like, it's going to be really tough because I haven't done it before. I have no, you can read all the books you want, all the Understanding comics, Scott McCloud, Stan Lee. I have both of the framed ink books, read through them cover to cover bunches of times. But like, until I'm in it, and like making the thing. Who knows, right? But what I'm hoping is that this will, one, help me simplify my style, because ain't no way I'm making every panel be a big elaborate painting for 100 pages. That would take me 30 years to make, and I'm already almost 40. So I have to find a way to get better faster. You know what I mean? So it's a sci-fi book. I've already essentially written it. The script isn't going to be super heavy. Not a ton of dialogue, especially in the middle. There's not going to be a lot. It's kind of a nice way to really focus on the visual side of it, but also let me tell stories without being tons of exposition. You know, I did go to film school, so my major was actually in illustration and graphic design, and my minor was in film production and directing. So I've learned a lot of the rules about like cinematography and stuff like that. Like, so I really want to stretch that out again. That muscle has not been stretched out since like 2007, where I would help make movies, you know. And I think it'd be fun. I have total control over it. So it may completely suck, and that's fine, because part of this is going in it knowing that, yeah, it's going to be rough, but what if this helps everything else? What if me coming to terms of like simplifying stuff and better shapes and narrative and composition and framing and, you know, having the intent of telling a story in a picture is kind of the gig. That's kind of what the whole job of illustration and visual art is anyway. So this will help that get better. But not only am I doing that to where I'm kind of in the weeds, not knowing how to do any of this, I'm also primarily going to be using the iPad to do a lot of it. So of course I'll be able to do kind of jump back and forth. The nice thing about the iPad is we'll be able to jump, like do some sketchy stuff here and then quote unquote finish it in a program I'm more comfortable with. But I think also becoming more comfortable at Procreate or Infinite Painter or this kind of like, I have a pencil and I'm sketching stuff down. I think that's a very visceral way to work. It's way different than like reaching up and over. It seems like it wouldn't be, because basically you're just taking your tablet and like putting it on a stand and drawing like that. But for some reason, this going like this reminds me of being a kid and drawing comic books, because that's what I would do. I would have comics and Wizard magazine and all this stuff out, and then I would go and be like, I'm gonna draw like Jim Lee. I'm gonna, you know, have my number 2 pencil and do the thing. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I have no clue. It may not even fully come to fruition. I hope it does. I think it will, because it really does. There's some weird spark on it. You know, every once in a while you'll have that feeling in your gut and your intuition that you're like, okay, my instinct says I should probably do this. And that's what this is. So who knows? This could be a beautiful train wreck. It honestly probably might be, but we'll see together. So tonight, basically, I already have the idea. I already have basically a preliminary script set up all the way from the beginning to the middle to the end. I know the ending already, all of it. I know all of it. I just need to make a simple design for the character. And then I need to figure out, one, how their face is going to look. I have no idea. So we'll see that. I kind of have an idea a little bit, but we'll, you know, that's what this is for. And then we're just going to get it to where we can successfully draw the face from a lot of different angles, a lot of different emotions. That's another thing that my art doesn't really have a lot of, is people making facial expressions. So that, studying that is going to be big, and reacting, like reaction shots. And, you know, I'm pretty confident with the establishing shot, the big, wide, epic, like, oh, wow, isn't that beautiful? Like, I do those all day, every day. What I don't do is the zoom into the eyes to tell a story. You know what I mean? So this is a whole different animal. So I have the iPad here, and I'm streaming it over AirPlay onto this monitor. I have chat over on this monitor. We're not even going to use this monitor. the actual art monitor, because that's all right here, which is kind of nice. I'll have the mic right here, I have chat right here, so it'll be more like I'm talking directly to you guys. I do have some other references up, like up here, but it's just primarily like Yoji Shinkawa stuff. I want to see how he simplified making like Metal Gear suits, because this is a sci-fi story, and it's basically going to be about one guy who sent up to a spaceship by a company, and his job is to go in. He used to be like a fixer in the military, and he kind of fell on hard times. He had some family issues, and then his mom passed away, like stuff like that, and he got dishonorably discharged from the whatever the military is. See, those things I still don't even have a name for. Like, what's the name of the military? What's the name of that stuff will come later. But he has this, and he is sent kind of as a good grace thing. Hey, we know you got it in you. You're perfect for this job, and this way you can get back on your feet. And he goes to a big ship, big vessel that's floating out. It can't have communications. They lost communications with it. This company did. And they need whatever is on that ship. But the thing is, there's electrical surges. There's a lot of weird things happening on there. So it's his job to go fix the ship, then figure out kind of what happened, and then report back. And that's it. That's the whole story, right? But of course, things happen, and it becomes very much he's locked in, and he has to deal with some things. Like, he's very, the ship is a metaphor, so to speak, right? So it's one of those stories. And then, twists and turns along the way. But overall, I thought it'd be cool because, one, I can build some 3D models of spaceships. I can get kind of 3D DAS models if I have really intricate like viewpoints that I want. Really, it's just how can I make this fairly quick, make it look really good, but the important part is telling that story. And I'm excited about it. I think there's something to it. It's just one of those things that I haven't done this before, so it's like, oh man. Looking for contributors. What's up? So this will be a one-man show. This one, I need to prove that I can actually do it. Now, this is essentially, I wrote a thing way back in high school, so a long time ago, that's actually a pretty elaborate deal. It's only one book, so it's not some big giant trilogy of things or whatever. Because I know a lot of people, whenever they start writing, they're like, oh, I'm going to write 8 books, and they're all going to interconnect. And no, I'm a big fan of one-offs, and then there might be a sprinkling of like, oh, they mentioned the thing in the other one, But all these are standalone stories. And I think that's a good way to go, because then that way, once the project's done, it's done. We don't have to revisit it. We can if we want to, but we probably won't. And that way it's, that's how it's going to be. And just to really prove to myself that I can do it. But also, I think it'd be cool to be able to release it for like $1 an issue or something. But I don't know how I want to break it up. I don't know if I want to complete the entire book first and just release it as like a $9.99. Here's a digital comic, and if you buy it on Gumroad or whatever, you get bonus stuff and deluxe edition, quote unquote, artist edition. But it's also on Kindle. It's also, you know what I mean? I don't know how I want to do that. But something that's like standalone instead of dealing with art directors or whatever, which I love, and that's my favorite part of the job. But now here's the thing I can control, even if, the jobs aren't lining up. I still have this big thing that I can then push forward on. So a lot to think about, a lot of kind of heady ideas in the story, but also kind of outside the story. I'm hoping, like I said, I hope this kickstarts that next step. But I mean, the Discord cats and all the patrons and stuff like that, you guys will definitely get inside looks. You guys might even get like unedited sketch panel pages and stuff, like, so really cool, like inside baseball stuff as we get there. Oh, thank you. See, Naruto, I got on a more of an anime kick lately. I just finished Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's a great show, really, really good. But anyway, we can start chatting. Let me actually get here to. I hope this works. Boom. Let's do. Properties. It would be window done. There it is. Okay. We can make this a little bigger. Right. So I do have a program I just got today called Magic Poser. And Magic Poser is actually a really cool little deal. I bought the $10 version. Comes with all the lighting stuff you might need. Basically, it's the Clip Studio 3D thing, only it has more features. And I think it would be really cool to just kind of get our general poses and stuff down. I will probably be using Unity. It's a very lightweight engine. It's usually made to make video games, but I have a whole bunch, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of assets that work within Unity. One of them being a modular spaceship prefab creator. So basically, I'm going to go in this 3D, and that might be one of the streams, is we're going to go in and literally I will build the entire ship, the inside of the ship, all the corridors, boxes, stuff, literally, so as I draw it, I can say, okay, if he walked in here, then he walks through here, and then he goes to this room, and he goes to here and to here. That's going to help with continuity. And then that way in the engine, in Unity, if I need 3D, if I need all that stuff, I can go and control a camera, take pictures, and then kind of what we're doing here, put pictures of weird angles and like fish island stuff. So it's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. It's just up to me to make it into a cohesive thing and find a consistent art style that throws it all together, basically, So yeah, this basically what we're doing, and this might be a little choppy. Like I said, this is wirelessly connected to all my stuff. But what we're going to do here, I just have the model set up, and that way you guys get to see me watch or work in Procreate, which is very rare. I don't hardly ever do it. But basically, I'm going to use this 3D model kind of the same way we did last time, and then just draw on top of it and try to figure out, okay, what's a costume or what's a cool mercenary outfit that I don't have to spend hours and hours drawing every time, which is why we're wearing like a Naruto style shirt. Anime simplifies it down to its core, and I think there's something cool about that. So these are the two models. We can also open Magic Poser on this with it on. That way you guys can see me like draw or not draw, but like pose the guy and then move the lights around and then take a picture and import it back into Procreate. So really it's just, we're going to get the basic shapes in and then kind of work from there. So I do really like Procreate's pencils. I do like them. I think Art Studio Pro has better built-in pencils, but these are pretty good. Let's do pencil there. And then I'm also going to just use very basic. Okay, these are inking brushes, which I may try inking. Like, I don't know how finished I want the stuff to look. That's the only other thing. Do I want to ink the comic book? Probably so, just to really make sure it looks crisp and nice and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe we make it slightly watercolory or painterly, or that's the whole. I have no clue. I know this will be fun to do, but okay, there's a round brush. I just need a round and flat brush. That's all I need for right now. And then we'll go into sketching. We'll get one of the pencils. I need to import my new brush pack into here and see. But basically, we're just going to... Wait. I don't need that. I need it on this layer. 1, multiply. You're also going to see me hilariously fumble around in Procreate. Since I'm not used to it, I don't know where stuff is really. So I might be clicking and be like, where's that setting? Where do I find the blah blah blah? You know. So basically here we just have like hair. This is going to be kind of the top down. This is almost like a weird character sheet, but I need to see where certain things are on this, like on the outfit. Okay, there's that. And also the nice thing about using kind of the 3D model stuff is we're going to be able to get some really dynamic poses that we can use as a base and then draw on top of, right? And it's funny how many people actually use this exact same workflow. I went and downloaded, you know, the Magic Poser, and they have their like testimonials, sort of what Rebel does. You know, they have their like featured artists, and a lot of them, a few of them are actually Magic the Gathering artists, and they do like Flesh and Blood and a lot of other card games. And yeah, they're like sponsored Magic Poser users. So I was like, okay, that actually makes me feel a little better. Because I was like, isn't the whole point of doing the graphic novel type stuff learning how to draw from imagination from any angle and stuff? And maybe, but once again, it's like that could make this project take forever. What's up? Any tutorials on thumbnail drawing? No, the only thing I have that's kind of close to that, there's something on my store, on my website, and it's called Order from Chaos, or Controlling Chaos, or something like that. And it's my version of, I guess it's one of my versions of thumbnailing. So it's basically you go and you just put random brush strokes everywhere. And then you kind of do what I like to call like cloud gazing. You know, whenever you go outside and you see a shape in the cloud and you're like, oh, that kind of looks like a cat. That kind of looks like a dog. That one looks like a turtle. That's sort of what you do. You just make a really messy canvas and then you kind of zoom out and be like, does this look like anything? And then if it does, if you start seeing a shape, start to try to like refine that shape and then see how the whole image just starts to like become order out of chaos, you know? So here's the thing. I would say this is another reason why I'm doing this kind of graphic novel project idea, is I need to do more thumbnails. I'm not great at thumbnailing. Usually I just dive right in and I'm like, oh, I have a cool idea. I'm just going to make it work. And I think that sometimes leads to me being kind of upset that sometimes the images are not worth doing, but I don't know that until like 3 or 4 hours in. Do you know what I mean? Which is dangerous. Like that might actually be part of one of the reasons why I'm like, you know, is the juice worth the squeeze for some of my images? So I'm like, yeah, this is cool, I guess, but it could be way better and I should just probably start over. And I need to not do that all the time because that doesn't really help anyone. The real secret is just do things to where you can complete them. Even if they're not great, even if they're not where you want them, just get done with it. Because you'll feel slightly better if it's done. You know, that old saying, done is better than perfect. I think that is very true. See, I need to figure out like a better way to. I need to figure out my simplified way of drawing faces and stuff. And I know it sounds really weird, but I don't know what that is because I just kind of do it. You know what I mean? I just draw faces, I draw portraits, I do. But it usually has a reference. But if it doesn't, the prompt has been given to me. I don't have to make the decision. See, it's funny because this really like scratchy sort of style. This is exactly how I draw with like a number 2 pencil or mechanical pencil, which is why I dig Procreate, but also it's almost embarrassing because it doesn't look great. The toenails, that's a different OnlyFans subscription is what that is. Okay. So we have like that. So really the idea for this is I want to make like a sci-fi suit. Right? Kind of sci-fi-esque thing. Basically, what would a gun for hire, a mercenary wear, where he has to be agile, he has to be kind of ready for anything. It can't be super bulky. It's almost like a kind of a skin tight deal. So it's like we do see, now I like doing the weird angles because this is going to be the thing that's going to like make or break the whole deal, is because can I consistently design something that's there, because I know I want to block off the shoulders. That's going to be like armor type stuff right there, but maybe something like comes up. So that would be, so if that collar kind of wraps around, and then that comes up like that, right? So both of those. Let me get rid of that. It's like truly working top down. And see, what's kind of nice is I might actually use the pec outline as the armor outline. It's a cheap way to do it, but hey, why not? Right? So we do something like that, and then maybe those can come down here. And then I'll do the, oh man, what's up, Marco? Oh man, what? For 20 months, that's nuts. That is nuts, brother. Hope you're having a good stream. Saw that you're going to be playing some Monster Hunter. I've been back on the Monster Hunter myself, brother, but have a good stream. Once I get done here, if I'm up for a little while longer, I'm going to tune in, brother. Appreciate you very much. So I think what I'm going to do here is the grade school. This is how I used to draw abs whenever I was like 7 or 8 years old, which is you would come down here and you would do this, you would do this, and you would do this, and you go like that. Ta-da! We did it. But I'm actually going to fix the shapes, because that's a very rudimentary way, of course. Like, you just follow down the... You know what I mean? You just follow down the middle pectoral line. And it's not quite correct, but, you know, it does whatever. It's like superhero stuff. So we can make that a little better. And a little bit more maybe anatomically correct. Do like this. And then like these can come up. Really, I'm thinking that like sci-fi stuff is pretty good just about the basic shapes, you know. And I mean, that is the goal. It is the goal to have maybe like almost looks like superhero trousers or something. Oh, maybe this can come up. Guard. And also, I can really just do gloves and stuff. So basically it is kind of a skin tight sort of suit, you know. At least for movies and TV. Yeah, and well, and what's fun is sci-fi has some real good themes that you can play with. And I don't want to give a whole lot away, but the thing that our main character here goes onto the ship to find. He doesn't know what it is. He just knows that he has to go retrieve something. It's in a certain room, but because of the electric current stuff being wobbly and there's no comms and like all this, it's going to be kind of hard to get it. But what he finds is something that is a little weird. And it's not a... don't worry, it's not an alien. This is only just going to have people in it. I've decided that as well. It's not going to be any alien creatures. It's not going to be... this is a very human story. It's almost like a Mammoth play or something. You know, the real journey is what happens once that door is locked. Going up, but thank you, Colin. Appreciate you, bud. Good to see you. But yeah, the real story starts once he gets locked in that ship. And I've always liked that idea. A lot of my favorite things are kind of based on that sort of idea. That you think the story is one thing, but it's actually maybe an allegory for something else. See, the other thing is, I don't have like the first idea Like, I need to find. I think I downloaded a bunch of like Blambot fonts, but it's stuff like that. Like, oh, what's the rule for making, speech bubbles? I don't know. The only rule I remember from reading some of like Scott McCloud stuff and is usually it's a good bet. One, have something that's legible. I mean, you don't want people like trying to read cursive or something. But in your speech bubble, make sure that you can fit, what is it, like a capital H in every corner without hitting any of the text that's in the middle. That way you have enough of a kind of your kerning and your kind of, what do they call it? I'm trying to think of my like Microsoft Office padding, like that type of stuff. You just want to make sure that the text stands out pretty well. And I actually saw someone recommend put in your speech bubbles first, even before, if you know the panel is going to have speech and you kind of know what the general composition is, maybe block in the shape of the composition, but then put in your speech bubble, because it's just as important for the composition of the panel. But it's stuff like that. Like, it's super foreign. Like, this whole thing's going to be a lot of racking my brain and like, why does that work? And why doesn't that work? And that's not even getting to the whole idea of like, is the story any good? You know what I mean? Like, which I think it's okay. It's okay for kind of a basic, here's a dude and he had things happen to him and now he's a different person at the end. The end. It's the old 3-act structure of, you meet Timmy and the cat. Act 2 is the cat gets stuck in the tree. In Act 3, the cat gets down, and the cat and Timmy have now been through something together. So it's like, if I just want to do the basic shape. So I know on the Discord we talked about concept art a lot, and like, what does concept art mean per person and stuff. To me, this is concept art. Whenever I did concept art for Adidas, we literally just got on a call and they had me do this while we were talking about the ideas. And then they used it. They used a lot of it, which is cool for the commercial. But, I mean, literally some of the most effective concept art that's ever existed has been like napkin sketches. You know what I mean? So is that... So if we do like basic shapes... I know the proportions are way off here. I'm just trying to like figure out diagonals versus, you know what I mean? Like, how's this actually gonna look? Need some sort of collar. It almost reminds me of the outfit that Gordon wears in Half-Life. You know? Yeah, because it's like these type of like geometric... What's up, Brent? Good to see you, brother. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of things. It's going to be a way to get better at Procreate and designing with shapes, and which is probably why it's exciting, is I haven't really done it before. At least not to this capacity. And there, because I like this idea. These can actually maybe come out a little more even. Almost like fantasy pauldrons right here. The only thing is, I think that's a little too far out. These need to come up a little more. And the other thing I need to figure out is, I don't think I've inked anything in my entire life. I don't think I've done it once. So if we have to ink a graphic novel, good Lord Almighty. It's like an entirely different, it is an entirely different art form. That's why we had that Rob Delatorre stuff up earlier, a few streams ago. I also got, you guys probably saw it on the Discord, but I was asking like, hey, what's this manga? Because I really like the art style. And it was called Heart Gear. So I got that, and I'm reading through it. I'm already in volume 2. It's only 3 volumes. But it was written and the art made by one guy, which is also cool. I actually did not know that whenever I got it. But what's nice about that is, like, not only am I reading it like, oh, this is a cool story, but I'm like, oh, this is possible. Like, it is possible for one person to do the whole thing. It's probably not easy, and it's probably not a smart idea, but it is what it is, you know? So I wonder, let's do that, and here's what we'll do. Painting, we just got that round brush, right? We'll do our 50% gray. That's another thing. I love the Apple Pencil, but it does, the touch sensitivity is so much different than my Huion. I actually think that the Apple Pencil's better, which makes sense, because I mean, just the Apple Pencil cost about half what the entire Huion setup did. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. And this is an old gen iPad too. This is a Gen 7. I think they're up to like Gen something now. 9 or 10, maybe even 12. I don't know. I'm just gonna come in and I will say, definitely the art's gonna be way cleaner than this. This is more just, you know, I do like this hard round brush though. I do think it's good times. Good times here. And this will give me an excuse, especially if I'm using like the 3D model stuff. Give me an excuse to have way better angles. Like, I think this is a cool angle right here. Your stream about value. Can you make one about drawing agility, straight lines, circles, ellipses, holding your hand? Ooh, like a dexterity one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Still using paper. You get used to digital. So it's just practice. It's just like anything else. You get used to it after a while. It always feels different. Like, I do think that if you have a tablet, whether it's a Samsung or an iPad or whatever, and you have some sort of stylus pen and you're working on it the same way you would work on a sketchbook, it makes the transition phase a little easier. Like, I get more into my old school sketchbook state of mind on the iPad and stuff, way easier and way faster than I do. I actually don't think I get into the same headspace on my other work monitor. I think I've done so much like graphic design stuff and like bigger illustration painting type stuff on this that I almost think of this closer to an easel and like the actual holding a brush and doing painting on this. But this feels more natural for like sketching and getting the initial idea out. And I actually wonder if it's because of the size difference. Because since this is a smaller screen than my actual big work monitor, I'm more likely to just do kind of the rough and tumble on this and maybe transfer it over to where I can really zoom out or zoom in, and like I have more size control the same way I would on a painting, like a big canvas painting. But here, it's almost like literally, well, hell, I have a sketchbook literally right here. And wouldn't you know it, the sizes almost match up identically. Like, you see what I mean? Like, whoa, it flipped it upside down. That's funny. But like, the working space is about the same. And yeah, but I literally have my, boop. That's crazy. That I didn't know it would do the screen capture part of that too. That's funny. But I literally have that sketchbook and a mechanical pencil right next to me by the desk all the time, which I never use it, sadly. I need to fill this thing up. I think I'll be better because of it, you know. But yeah, really the transition is just doing it more and more, and I think you'll find out that it's not too much different, you know. Yeah, Aeon Flux had some beautiful line art. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's see, we can, if we like darken this a little bit, maybe on the sides. Because really all this is, and here in a minute we can actually try to make like a cool like mood piece and see if we can build something that actually looks kind of cool. But this is more like, hey, what are your values? What's something that I can easily replicate over and over and over again over the course of, you know, an average of 6 panels over 100 pages. So what can I draw 600 times and make it look relatively similar? It's a way different thing than like, try to make this painting look pretty. It's a whole different animal. But I think that's what I need. I need something to really almost like bust my chops and make me exercise more, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to be the person that just rests on their laurels, like, oh, I got popular for doing this thing, so I'm just going to do that thing forever. It's like, no, I have a lot to learn. Mm. Yeah, so I do recommend it. I think it is a very different way to solve problems. So, and I can totally understand how some artists would get almost like obsessed with their iPad, where they could be like, oh, I can't go anywhere without my iPad. That's the only way I work now. I can't do anything. Like, I get it. I don't think I'm there, but I can see why it could feel pretty lucrative, like a good way to shake things up artistically, because it is different. It just is. So if we have like that, and then those are the same thing here. Like if he has like dark hair. Right. This almost looks like a outfit from like Alien or something, which is cool. I dig it, you know. And if like the light hit that one, these get darker. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. So yeah, maybe part of the design of it is certain values are always darker, because the nice thing is I'm just keeping this in pure black and white. I'm not gonna add color to anything. Like the cover might, you know, and depending on how I release it, like if I do volumes or something, maybe those will have color, but the actual panel deal won't. And then is there a category for halftone? Kinda. There's decimals. Yeah, a little bit. I bet there are just brush packs. And I mean, yeah, the brush pack I'm working on, it already has some halftones, but and I have these really nice, super nice, like oil packs, like the perfect oils. That brush pack was $39. And then the max packs was like $25. But they are very good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this just needs to be the dude's suit, so if I could use our money to buy one. Let's see. So, I know what I actually need to do to like build up my dexterity. So if we're talking about dexterity and stuff, a great way to build it is to do master studies, but a master study of like circles. Or if I come over here, let me find. I think there's a way. I might take a screenshot of heart gear and let me bring up PureRef. Images, open images. Could have sworn I had one saved. I could open up those I could open up those Rob De La Torre pictures, actually. Wish I had a better understanding of brushes in general. It's too soon for me to get that one. Yeah, so I can actually so some of my new brushes on the 2025 pack are modified Greg Rutkowski brushes, because whenever I did the same thing. I got the Greg Rutkowski pack back in like 2020, I think. And yeah, it was too much. So what I did is I kind of went through and I tried to learn what I could from them. And a few of the brush tips are really great. So I kind of utilized those, but then I went in and changed a lot of the settings and made it just easier, you know? Let me find. Let me find this real quick. Let's do boom. So we are gonna do something fun, and we are just going to do a an anime study, oddly enough, because I want to figure out how in the world inking works. I thought I saw the panel. So each volume of this is like 240 pages. I promise I won't spend the whole time just scrolling through stuff. But I need to find... That's a cool one. I don't even know what that's from, but that's cool. Yeah, because inking just seems like a different animal. It scares me. It scares me the same way that watercolors do. You know? I know. Okay, yeah, that one's dope. We're definitely gonna do that one. And then... we are gonna do... thought I saw it. It's in this chapter. I know it's in this chapter. Here's one. Here it is. Cool. Okay. So let's do this. Feels just fine. So yes, so the new one I made has 43 brushes, but I think 6 or 7 of those are more stamps. So they don't work the same way brushes do. It's one of those that you just make a big stamp and hit it once, and then it does some cool stuff, and then you kind of leave it alone. So like, that was my goal. Because yeah, if I have too many brushes, I only use like 4 anyway. You know what I mean? But it's nice to have the other set. So here's what we're gonna do now. Let me go gallery, new. Let's do square. And this is going to be an anime sketch that then we will ink to try to make the lines look better. So I apologize in advance. I promise I am a professional artist. I'll just put that out there right now. This is not going to look like a professional artist did any of this, so. So just know that every picture starts out ugly, right? Every single one. So here's what we're gonna do. Let me bring this over here. I like this look, but I don't know how I would ever remember how to do these proportions, because these proportions are so different than what I'm used to. So we are going to start off like this. So that comes up here, and back down here, right? So I will say something that I do like the look of, and I would like to try to learn how to internalize it and like make it quote unquote part of my style, is how this artist, Takaki Tsuyoshi is his name, but also the artists that worked on Zone of the Enders, which I know Yoji Shinkawa did, but really the kind of let's come down a little bit, the cutscene anime artist. Critter brushes. Ooh, dude, Ray Friendon is a beast. I love that guy. I met Ray Friendon back in like 2008. We interviewed him for a podcast show. He was working at Nickelodeon at the time for TMNT. Super good guy. This is not good. Maybe I just need to... This is such a foreign concept for me. Okay, I'm gonna put this in, but then I'm gonna have to definitely fix it. This ain't looking great. comes down here. See, and part of me, and I know it's not realistic, but part of me is like, hey, if I consider myself a pro at this art thing, I should be able to do a myriad of styles all well enough that I can, like, fill in the gap on the team and be able to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, the proportions are so weird on this. And that one. Which is probably an unrealistic expectation. Because even in my latest YouTube video, I was like, you know, whenever you're hired to be on a professional sports team, you're not hired to do every job on the team. You're not hired to be the coach and the running back and the, you know, and the quarterback and the, like, there's no way. Can't do it. Bounce for now. Alrighty, Ivan. Take it easy, brother. Yeah, I'll go for another half hour or so. Gotta wake up early tomorrow with the kiddos. So what is the secret here? I feel like if I get these proportions right, it'll look right. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm finding. All of the kind of anime stuff is very, in manga, is very proportion based. And here's the other thing about the Apple Pencil. See, I didn't even need to change my brush. I'm just tilting it, and I'm getting that cool, like, viney charcoal look, you know? So... he actually has the arm coming out here. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the secrets, is like, really, you want to give, and that's why we were working on kind of the silhouette of the suit on my character, because it's like, okay, if the silhouette of the suit works, and then you also do the hair a certain way, because that's what a majority of, I mean, hell, you know for a fact it's Naruto because he has his headband and his spiky hair and his big old grin, you know. So you basically just, it's like symbology. Like you have, it's almost a hieroglyphic. You can just have spiky hair and the headband and people will be like, oh, Naruto. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it. If you simplify the design down enough. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, we are struggling through some studies to get back used to Procreate. So here's what we can do. We got that. We're gonna ink on this layer, but I legitimately have no idea how to do this. No idea. This is as foreign to me as like trying to do clay sculpture. Okay. So here's what we got to do. Studio pen, maybe? And then let's lower this opacity. Right? Being a digital artist feels still alive. Yeah, that's the thing, is like picking the poison. So that's why I think doing the kind of graphic novella might be a good idea, because you never know. I could be 20% into that thing and be like, this is it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Or it could be like, I never want to make one of these again. But it's going to let me know because I have to do it. I have to do it and find out, you know. Don't have to become uber generalist. I just gotta, I don't know. I love learning, and this is true. This is no like hyperbole or anything. I just love learning. I love kind of, give me all this. What is this? What is that? I love to like see it and manipulate it and try to figure these things out. But I wonder if this is, you know, there was a while where Bruce Lee kind of went off and he tried to train with every high impact like martial arts instructor. Didn't matter what the martial art was, he just wanted to go train. That's sort of what I think I'm doing right now. I think I'm like, okay, I need to train from everybody. I need to look at good manga. I need to look at the anime stuff. I need to look at the John Singer Sargents. I need to look at like super realism. I need to look at all of it, at really abstract stuff. And then that's going to form this thing, you know. Okay, so we have the ink pen. We're going to pick pure black. I think, oh God, look how shaky my hand is. Like, I think that's part of it. I think that's why this is so like foreign to me. I'm not a super smooth. Ugh. That is gross. This is so bad. Oh. Yeah, kind of absorb what is useful and bunk the rest, you know. Maybe I just need to make this a little smaller. Maybe I can come in and maybe oh, it actually feels better. I have no idea how these artists can just do like if you guys ever seen Art Germ do variant covers at places like Comic-Con, where he just grabs a freaking like Sharpie and he's like, oh, bloop. Like, get out of here, bro. You are a madman. Actually, don't want to make like a tangent, you know? The outside line of the entire character and then the inside detail lines. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Let's see, like... It's way harder for no reason. That's probably accurate. Yeah, I wonder what, because it's funny, one of the most overused, you know, things in the world is like, what brush do you use? But I have wondered if the professional inkers, I know a lot of them, you know, like the Takaki Tsuyoshi, the guy doing this stuff, he writes it and inks it and sketches it like it's all him. Oof. So I wonder if he uses like traditional inks, or does he use like digital inks? Because I know he did this series for Shonen Jump. So we're kind of flipped. Because I did nothing but realism for God knows how long. Ink liner brush, dip pen. Yeah. So I have seen a lot of the dip pens and stuff. Man, and see, even it's just the dexterity of like making my lines more confident, that might be worth the price of admission by itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need big help on that. Big help. Yeah, where you start and stop the line. I bet that is... I can see how that would be of utmost importance. It's not enough to just like get it on the page. Is this? Okay. So yeah, basically you're just seeing somebody make every kind of mistake while learning how to do this. But I mean, this is the long game, right? We're not in this for like, I got to get really good at this in 4 days, or I'm never going to be good at it. Like, it's not one of those. This is a very long, arduous part of a process. here is... Because, I mean, it really honestly looks like... It looks like he did a lot of the outlines in ink and then used a heavy pencil for the inside stuff. Like a 6B or an 8B or something. But let me go ahead. Let me use Inca and drop the size down and see what gets us there, right? Because like here is where, oh, interesting. So that's like really textured and like, Let's try Basker. Oh, that has a ton of smoothing on. I mean, hell, would make my stuff look better, for sure. That's almost like a lasso line. And the thing I could do in pencil pretty well, and like charcoal drawing and stuff, is cross-hatching. But I kind of want to not rely on that too much. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like whatever makes it look good. Yeah, these are wild brushes. Let's see. I could do the old start cheating and do some of my some of the really thick like impasto brushes. Quick strokes. On a live stream. Mine will be more stable. That's true. Yeah. I always like to do everything on hard mode. So it's like, yeah, why don't I do this live in front of everybody? But I do think there's value in it because like we all kind of go through this, you know, whenever we're trying to figure out a whole new, like wrap our brain around a whole new way of thinking. So I do think there's value in seeing somebody, because I know for a fact there's probably skilled Procreate and probably quite a few of you here in the ones giving really good advice have done this, and they're like, he is making every dumb mistake on the planet, which is true. And to be fair, here's another thing, and this is some real talk. For Takaki Tsuyoshi, this is just how he draws. He's not thinking about it. You know, he's like, no, I need to draw the face. I'm going to draw the face, and the hair is doing that, and he's yelling. Done. He's not going, I wonder what, and I wonder what the, and I wonder what, because there's a thing that happens when you are doing, like, master studies, is you're using the creative and the analytical part of your brain at the same time, which is not usually, that's terrible, not usually what actually happens. Normally you're just going for it, you know what I mean? So I can actually come in here like this, because this is actually sort of what it looks like he did for the mouth. and sort of like just blotched it in, so. And then make that smaller. Yeah, this brush feels a little more like, and it's giving me a little more the result I was going after, but it looks like here he just sort of like cross hatches the shadow. I know I can go back and clean, which I will. And it does get there. Clip Studio or Paint Tool, they're made for anime. That's probably true, actually. And like, because they have the built-in smoothing stuff too. And then here's he has like a barcode on his face, which is yet another thing that's like a distinctive quality to make him easier to draw at different angles. As long as you have the barcode on that cheek, and you know, you can get away with a lot. They don't have to look exactly the same as the same character every time if you just have some of those landmarks. And then I could have sworn there was some halftone within Procreate, but maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I like how this brush feels a little more. Probably just because I'm cross-hatching and I'm used to it. Like, you know. That is true. I need to break out of the habit of like trying to do really nice, neat, meticulous. Just need to freaking go for it. You know, stuff like that. If I just do 8 million of these lines, it should look right, right? It's so tricky to like get the right setup here. I wonder what this would be. Oh, dang. That's huge. Well, that's kind of cool. Here's my cheat mode for cross-hatching, I guess. Just use a rake brush. It's a good idea. I mean, makes sense. And it gives some decent, like, movement, you know? Which one did I have before? Was it syrup? Which one was it? I can't even remember. Okay, yeah, I think so. Now that I actually zoomed out a little bit, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it does, of course, but it's getting there. So really it's this stuff. Yeah, this brush is actually pretty cool. All right, take it easy, Brent. Have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out. So if we come back here, let's grab the tech pencil. Let's not do pure black. Let's come up a little bit. And then that way, I can do a little something like this and give us a little more interest, like visual interest to like bring it on together, you know? Technical pencil. Let's do Procreate pencil. Yeah. I know this probably gets away from the actual like art of inking, but really, like I said, it is just to build kind of that dexterity back up within Procreate since we haven't used it in so long. Let's see. It's so weird, like getting the structure of this right is way trickier. I wonder if inking, do syrup. And I do know you can like hold down on Procreate and it'll sort of smooth your line, or what it thinks your line was supposed to be anyway. Yeah, like that. Which is cool. That's a really cool feature. Kind of a lifesaver. So, I wonder, let me try something real quick. Where was that layer? Where is... Oh, I guess some of the calligraphy brushes might be pretty good too. See how like smooth they are. Oh yeah, see, that's cool. Yeah, that's like almost like a dry ink wash or something, you know, like a marker that's going out. So that's cool. I like that one. What's that one? Oh, it looks like, yeah, there's blotchy, just a normal brush pen. That's cool. I do like that brush. It's neat. I wonder what this would look like, though. It breaks all the rules, I know, but let's just goof off for a second, because, yeah, I'll probably get off here in probably about 10 minutes or so. Let's bring in... It's a form shader. dry oil. Let's do that. Do our 50% gray. Ignium, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. We're going to use some good old-fashioned wet oil brushes underneath this. I know it doesn't make any sense, like at all, but it might look cool. And that's what we're on about. Kind of like a rough and ready look. And then if I grab one of these, let's do thin oil and see what happens. It's almost like a wash, which is cool. Let's go ahead and make this a little darker. Bring this in. Now I'm kind of going away from what the initial image looks like, because it does not have any of this brush stuff in it. It doesn't have any of these changes of values. We're just experimenting. See what we can get into. So that's like the ultimate goal, right? Is just to make something that looks kind of awesome. See, and you can even get some, this brush pack has some nuts looking like impasto brushes too. Actually, we can even do these. There's that one. Expressive layering. White. Maybe it seems like a weird like breaking of the rules or something, you know? Because it's supposed to be like super clean and nice, but see, I wish I could have sworn there was like halftone stuff. Maybe not. Maybe not in this one. Drawing, painting, artistic. All the airbrushes. See, there's like decimals, but maybe something like this. Let's try this. So it's not quite. Well, I guess it is. I guess that is like a halftone, right? And if we go and make that pure black, I'm gonna work the pure black in there. Yeah, it's cool. I dig it. Once again, I don't know how correct this is, but maybe that's not the point. I think it's just also because I'm looking at a reference that I'm looking at, or, you know, I have a reference. I'm like, oh, does it look like that? But maybe I just come in and one thing there. And then I bet we can, that's the ink layer, is that layer? I'm gonna come onto this layer, come back to painting, round brush, pure white, and then clean this. Just on like these areas, like that. And maybe I can also something like that. And your white. Yeah, it's neat. And that way we can keep some of these halftone dots that kind of come up through it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're doing okay. But now I can totally see why there are pencil artists and then there are inkers. Because it is not the same skill set at all. and they both get paid pretty good money. What was the, okay, it's Rosette. There we go. I was like, what was the name of that brush that we liked? Okay. There's that one. I think there's a few other, oh yeah. Other places, we got that one. There it is. Yeah, that's cool. I do like having the halftone just as, almost use it the same as I would like an impasto brush. There we go. Yeah. It's something like that. Not bad for, well, I mean, it might be bad, but it's fun to do. And yeah, I definitely need to, like, work on, yeah, the brush stability. Make a few changes to that. I do think there is some nice, like, quote-unquote happy accidents. I like the sort of watercolory ink splotchiness to it. I think doing next time we stream, and I might actually be doing more and more iPad stuff on the stream, because now that we got the setup and we know it works okay, I think it'd be good practice. And we can do maybe a full like character shot instead of just the face. But that way, I mean, at least we have cool, spontaneous enough brushes to make something that looks interesting. Because that's literally the only goal. Is if my fear was that the art that I was making is boring, I mean, this can be a lot of things, but hopefully it's not boring. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's more energy in it. There's more texture differences. There's a little bit of paintbrush stuff, but majority of it is more inky. It is more chaotic. And it's of a person screaming, which is always, you know, that does a little number on the, you know, on the intensity scale of a piece. But yeah, I'm interested how this is going to look at full export, and I'm going to paste it up tonight, and we'll kind of see. But yeah, I can definitely see how the inks would, finding the right ink brush would probably make a world of difference anyway. And like, yeah, do the stabilizer settings and things like that, but really finding, I think it was called Syrup. Let me check. Yeah, okay. So that's the one we liked quite a bit. And maybe like Baskerville may have been the other one. Because those are the really smooth sort of ones. And then we can use, maybe that's the technique I can use to ink. Is not really ink. Almost do it like black and white watercolor. Because I dig the stuff that's like on the neck and like down here, just because it's interesting. There's different values, there's different brush strokes and stuff. So maybe it's just, yeah, ink the main character or whatever characters are in the scene, and then find the values, of course, put the values, but then do the kind of watercolor-ish splotchy ink stuff. yeah. All right. All right. Overall, a decent, a decent comeback for the old iPad. And I'll probably, the more I use this, the more I'll probably make the YouTube videos talking about iPad art, and we can do more like Art Studio Pro and Infinite Painter, and kind of open up that side of things. But yeah, that was it for me tonight. Hope you guys had fun. I know this was a way different, probably vibe and a feel than the other ones are, but we're learning literally a brand new skill. So I hope it was at least interesting to watch. It is a lot of problem solving. It is a lot of, I got to get the dexterity in my hand right, got to get the stable brushes. It really forces you to kind of make your decision before you do it, instead of do a thing and then try to like fix it later. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I think I do think there is something to this. I think it's almost like there's a answer within this type of stuff that I need to find, and once I find it, I'll be like, that's it, and then I can take it to every other thing. And it is funny, I am liking more and more of the halftone stuff. Like Dots use that as texture as well, instead of just trying to use thick impasto brushes and stuff, which are all fine and good. It's just, to me, those aren't almost as interesting anymore because I've done it so much. I've done it for well, hell, it's what got me all my gigs so far, really. So it's fun and I like doing it, but I do think relying on a different thing for that same idea of texture and variance and contrast and stuff, I think that might be one of the things we just add to the arsenal, is more and more Yeah, exactly. Like, this is more of a refreshing, like, oh, this is a new thing. This feels different, and it's a different part of my brain that doesn't quite activate whenever I'm in full, like, render mode. Because, like, right now I'm working on a piece for Percy Jackson, and I love it, and it's cool, and we did some really neat things, and it's of a... can't say what it's of, but it's really interesting. Like, the idea, whenever it came across the desk, I was like, oh, that's cool. But it's still using the very painterly, fantasy art thing. And it's fine. I like that. I like doing it. But yeah, it is job. And this is something different. This almost doesn't feel like the same hobby or skill. I mean, this feels like almost a different genre of, like, playing a new instrument, I guess, is sort of what that feels like. So, yeah, a lot of fun. We'll do this more. We'll do some more of the design stuff. I'll actually reveal the name of the project that I've started on. I mean, by the end of the year, because I think by the end of the year, we're actually going to have pages done, maybe a full chapter done. Maybe more than that, actually. I'm hoping, because I'm working in Unity, to get a lot of the 3D block out and all that stuff. And then we can put, a character in and pose them and whatever we want to do. But really, I might even just do Unity for the backgrounds and just draw the people in the background. You know what I mean? Like, instead of using DAZ models or Clip Studio models, I can use the 3D snapshots from the spaceship stuff to get the angle and then just draw people into the panel. I think that'd be a cool way to kind of mix stuff and make it look interesting. But yeah, I'm hoping once we get that workflow going, that I'm going to fly through some of this stuff. Because like I said, it's basically one character. The first part, they're going to meet a few characters to get the job to go to the spaceship. But once they're on the spaceship, it's pretty much them in the ship for quite a while. Just finding stuff, almost like finding data pads like Deus Ex or Bioshock or something, and getting story that way, sort of. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's already, like I said, it's already written. Now I just have to art it up, which is easier said than done. But that is my time for tonight. We will see you on Saturday. And yeah, let me know like on the Discord and stuff. Would you rather I kind of work out some of this stuff on the iPad? Do you want to see more of like the full screen, clip? If we try the same thing in Clip Studio, see what we get. Yeah, who knows? So we'll do some stuff for sure. But yeah, see you guys on Saturday. Have a great night or morning or day. And if you're watching on the YouTube archive, appreciate you very much. These are actually picking up more views than my standard YouTube videos are. So who knows, man? But yeah, expect more iPad stuff because now that we got it hooked up and it's working okay, we're good to go on that. But that is my time for tonight. You guys take care. I will see you all very, very soon. And yeah, go make cool art. See you next time.